Hello, this is Captain Alexander, and welcome to my weekly whatever stream of Final Fantasy XIV. And, well, I'm just leveling my botanist job. Running around Kaluja, just chopping down bushes and trees. A never-ending... Basically, I've become an environmental calamity. The ninth Umbral Calamity is nigh. I'm just chopping down all the trees. They looked at me funny. They deserve it. Anyway, a lot of crazy shit has been happening this week. That I'm just saying I missed streaming for a week because of my sleeping schedule. That's not the reason why I missed streams. No, it's just crazy shit just keeps happening. The midterms was hilarious. I mean, everyone's mad at everyone else. Everyone thinks the other is basically just an evil piece of shit who is trying to deceive everyone else in order to gain absolute power. Like, the Republicans are saying we cheated! Quick, kill them all! Meanwhile, the Republicans are like, the Democrats are saying that they didn't cheat, that the election was 100% legitimate, and that no one was caught doing anything even remotely suspicious, and that nothing suspicious happened, despite the fact suspicious shit happened. They're lying! Kill them all! Well, not kill. Well, not yet anyway, but it's starting to get to the point where I think a civil war might happen sometime this decade. Both sides hate each other, and they're just waiting for an excuse to blow the other away. What can I say? The Democrats looked at the Republicans funny, and the Republicans looked at the Democrats funny. What more excuse do they need? It's just like the trees. Everyone talks about being noble and having ideals, but the reality of the situation is everyone just wants to beat the shit out of each other for fun. That's just human nature. Everyone likes killing. Why do you think video games are so popular? What? You thought we weren't homicidal maniacs as a species? Nah, it's just a comforting lie we tell ourselves. Everyone's like, no, I can't kill that guy, even though he's pissing me off and I hate his opinion. And it's like, that's immoral. Translation. That there's a major downside for me killing them. And it's destroying the civilization I hold dear, and it's hurting my bottom line. That's basically what they're saying, but, I mean, instead of articulating it as such, they're saying, no, that's morally wrong. Well, who decides your moral convictions? I mean, everyone has a different answer and tries to argue that, no, there's some sort of higher power, or no, the government determines morality, or... But really, it's the person. Person from person. So if that's how it's determined, then basically what you're saying is, no, I shouldn't kill the guy. It's hurting my bottom line. I'm attached to this civilization and the rule of law, and if I kill him, I'm basically betraying the things I'm attached to. It's the same reason why some people who are in open relationships refuse to sleep with anyone else other than the person that's their partner, despite the fact their partner says it's okay, because it's not about offending or harming anyone else. It's about making themselves feel bad, and they feel bad betraying them because they're more of a monogamous individual. Which is a sign you should probably get out of that relationship, in my opinion, but I mean, and find someone who's more committed to you, but you get my point. People do things because they feel good, and if it doesn't feel good to do something, it's not because there's some sort of higher power saying no, it's because you are saying no. You're thinking to yourself, yeah, there's just so many things wrong with that. I probably wouldn't like myself afterwards if I went down that road. I'm not going. Notice how the law doesn't even enter into it. So it's the same thing with civil wars, really. If you'd rather blow the other guy away than just go, yeah, it's not worth it, in my opinion. I'd feel bad if I do it. Then, well, guess what happens? So yeah, and more people are starting to get to the point of, you know, most of my problems, even though some of my problems are due to the extremists on my side, most of my problems are because that guy over there looked at me funny and basically is ruining my bottom line. And not just ruining my bottom line in a friendly way, but a malicious way. Like, he is actually trying to destroy me and everything and everyone I've ever loved. Fuck that guy, I'm punching his fucking face in. And when both sides start thinking that way, both sides inevitably start getting ready to punch everyone's face in. It ends up being a brawl! Battle for supremacy. It's not even about truth and lies, right and wrong. It's about whether or not you like that guy. Like, he looked at me funny. I didn't like the cut of his jib. I had to break his neck. Nothing personal. And when you phrase it like that, it sounds psychotic. But when you say, their ideology is incompatible with mine, everything they do is hurting my bottom line, and they're trying to destroy everyone and everything I've ever loved, it sounds noble. But what you're really saying is, I don't like the cut of their jib. They're saying and doing shit that's pissing me off and getting in my way. They're an obstacle to my goals, and I want them gone, and they won't compromise with me on any of this shit. And so I'm going to beat the shit out of them until they go away. Either by going 6 feet under or by retreating. Which, when you reframe it, sounds psychotic again. Weird. It's almost like morality is just a justification for our natural impulses. And really, psychopathy is just the lack of understanding of that and not being able to understand complex metaphysical structures. Really, it's not a lack of empathy per se, in my opinion. It's more like a lack of metaphysical understanding. Even though the lacking empathy component is clearly there. I mean, I'm not a psychologist. I can't say for exactly my thesis is correct or way off base, but it seems to me what being a sociopath or being a psychopath is. You're incapable of comprehending metaphysical structures and just see everything as a pure utilitarian system based on cost-benefit analysis. And any metaphysical structures that are in your way are just minor nuisances instead of something valuable. In other words, you are incapable of processing the metaphysical concept of civilization can't function if everyone just murdered everyone they didn't like. And therefore, civilization is a good thing. Therefore, restraint is a good thing. That and killing someone who might, and then there's the empathy part of it, where it's like killing someone who might, have friends and loved ones just because they looked at you funny is not justifiable, because what if you looked at someone funny and they killed you? Wouldn't the people around you feel bad if you were dead? But I'm just saying, as I said, it's a multi-threaded thing. Like, the empathy thing is still there, the lack of empathy, but I think there's just more to it than a lack of empathy, because you could lack empathy and not be a homicidal, rampaging maniac. You have to also lack metaphysical understanding. Like, you are incapable of processing what makes civilization tick at all. In other words, you don't even see man-made constructs as valid entities that should be respected or can be respected in any meaningful capacity. Like, you don't see their value because they don't exist in your mind. It's like in your mind, people are arguing over an imaginary construct. Basically, atheism to the extreme, to the point where not only do you not believe in things that you can't prove, like God, you don't even believe in civilization because, really, it's just, in your mind, it's just some weird metaphysical glue holding everything together. It doesn't exist, so why does anyone care about it? I don't like the guy, I should be allowed to kill him, who cares? Combine that with the lack of empathy, of course, and, well, you get serial killers, sociopaths, homicidal rampages, so on and so forth. At least that's my thesis on it. It's like, they don't see any of it as valid. It's just some made-up shit. Why do you care, man? America? What's that, man? Civilization? Really? Everyone's out for themselves anyway. Why shouldn't I just go on a rampage? Shit like that. And I guess the more emotional, psychopathic aspect of it, like someone who's been abused to the point that they just hate the world around them and just want to lash out at it, is also basically what I'm saying is psychopathy is just a person going, I've had it up to here with this metaphysical bullshit that has made my life a living hell. Every waking moment is torture because of the people around me. It's this metaphysical system that's fucking me over. Fuck it, I want to burn it all down. Who cares who lives or who dies? Might as well just go into the school and shoot them up. It's like not like anyone's going to care about me one way or the other, so might as well go out in a blaze of glory mindset. You get what I'm saying? Whether it's, you call... Psychologists flip the term around. Psychopath, sociopath, depending on their mood, in order to confuse normies. When I learned the term, it was psychopath for that. Like, emotional outbursts, like hate and rage. Like, civilization shit! I'm burning it down! It's less of a metaphysical understanding, but more intense psychological abuse has caused any emotional attachment to the world around you, and therefore empathy to anyone else, to be overcome by your hate and rage, and you just want to burn it all down. Like, you're fucking tired of this shit. You snapped, and you just want to go out in a blaze of glory type mindset. Like, fuck civilization! What has it ever done for me? I hate all of you! The answer is, yeah, it's done a lot, actually. But, when you're that blinded by hate and rage to the point that nothing matters anymore, not even your own life, you can't see that, and that's why people snap and school shootings happen and all that awful shit. At least that's my thesis. And to be honest, war is a similar mindset now that I think about it. That's the reason why I'm rambling about this, because it's just, war is a similar mindset. Both sides have to hate each other with every fiber of their being, or hate the fact that they have something that the other side doesn't have, or so on and so forth, in order to justify in their head the slaughter and the death. Now, obviously, blind hatred alone does not keep a war going for very long. I mean, sure, tribalism can keep a war going, but you need a bit more. You need, like, a narrative that makes you out to be the good guy and your actions to be justified, and that's where morality comes in. It's the social construct humans created to differentiate themselves from people who don't have their moral system in order to justify not only the existence of their moral system and their civilization's rules and laws, but to also denigrate those who oppose those things and want to destroy you as evil, because people typically need more than just, they're trying to kill me, therefore I'll kill them. They need, like, a heroic narrative. Like, I am the noble knight, the champion, the warrior of light, and the other guy wants to destroy the world, Kefka style, so I'm going to delete him. I'm good, they're evil. Simple as. Narrative. Me? I don't really need that much of a narrative. It helps to have it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't need it. I'm like, if someone's trying to kill me, I don't give a fuck about who's in the right or who's in the wrong. In my opinion, you're trying to kill me. It's the only justification I need to break your fucking neck in retaliation. The very fact you're trying to kill me is enough of a justification. It's like, oh no, they're trying to kill me. Might as well get rid of the problem. And I only had 3 slots in my inventory left. Damn it. Time to head back to Limsa. Need to clean up my packs. The problem with leveling a gathering job, you gather enough shit, and then you don't have any room to gather more shit. Just trying to get this botanist to level 80 pretty much, so I can then just chop down some trees in Endwalker territory to get the materials for my armor, who's now level 81 or 82 at this point, in order to level them up to 90s in the hope I can make some crafted gear to sell on the market board, which is this game's version of the auction house in WoW. So I can make some gil, because as you can see in the bottom corner, I'm broke. Fucking broke. Whew. I need some moolah. I need it quick. Verified white oak logs. Trade them in. Wow. Got some nice experience from turning those in. Nice. Now I just need to clean out my inventory of all the other crap. Sell, sell, sell. Oh, I want to sell. There we go. Dwarven cotton boll, don't care. Coffee beans. I'll just sell that. Sell that. Limonette. I'll sell that. At this point, I'm just going to sell all the crap. It's clogging up my inventory. I don't think I could sell it for any meaningful amount of gil. Or maybe I'm wrong about that, but still, I just want to clean up my packs. I want room. I'll be honest, I don't actually give enough a shit about any gil I might be able to get while leveling this, per se. I just want to have the room in my packs. Oh yeah, no, that's not a daily thing. Upland wheat is not a daily thing. Ah yes, that's Kitari Tribal Quest stuff. Kitari, blood tomatoes, pixie apples, curly parsley, pearl sprouts. And there we go. I should have enough room at... This white clay is in my way. I don't know where to take this. If there's anywhere to take this collectible. But I'm just going to trash it. It's in my fucking way. Get out of my inventory. Levin mint. Really mint. High cordial. High durium nugget. Oh, that's white clay. Get the hell out of my inventory. You're taking up my spot. Okay. Okay, I think everything is good. Okay, inventory management done. Woohoo! Got the crap out. Anyway, back to Kaluja. Do I need to repair my gear? I mean, after all, gathering lowers the gear's durability. Something about bushes tearing holes in armor, I guess. I guess that's a BS excuse. Might as well. I'll just teleport to the gold saucer. I'm lazy. Teleport to the gold saucer, see if there's a mini game up I care about. If not, ooh, 720. A mini game will be up. Just need to repair my gear, and hopefully it won't be something boring like Air Force One. I hate that stupid blasting minigame. Give me Leap of Faith, Slice, or the one with Typhon. I can't remember its fucking name. Brain fart. Or Cliffhanger. That one's good too. Anything but Air Force One, please. I'm not in the mood to shoot shit. I'm in the mood to gather shit. The Slice is right! There we go, it's Slice! Might as well do that on stream. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the midterms. War and death is coming. Probably not just in America, but across the world. Everyone's is tired of everyone else's shit, and when that happens, you get murder. I mean, look at Putin and Ukraine. Both sides at this point just want to kill each other for the shits and giggles. It is what it is, and China wants to murder Taiwan. Taiwan doesn't want to be invaded, and probably wishes China would just die, and they'll fight to the bitter end to make sure that happens. I'm gonna do the Manderville Mambo. Well, time to talk about something else, and with the Pokemon music in the background, might as well talk about my thoughts on Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, based on what I've seen of Lost Pause's stream last night before I went to bed. It's a buggy piece of crap! I expected more from Game Freak. I don't know why, but I did! It's a buggy piece of crap! It's worse than Sword and Shield in that respect. At least Sword and Shield functioned. It may have looked like Arce that belonged on... It looked like it was a 3DS game ported to the Switch, which, to be fair, it probably was. But Scarlet and Violet is a buggy piece of crap. Holy crap. I am genuinely glad that I decided to hold off. Dad's like, but do you want to get the game right now? Maybe you can get some soda instead. It's like, And I'm like, You know... You've got a point, but the game is, from what little I've seen, looks good, but I need to see more. It could be a buggy piece of crap. I mean, it seems to be like one of those open world games. I mean, it's been out like an hour or two, and Noble still hasn't gone to the frickin' first Pokemon Center. Gets to the first town / Pokemon Center area. One of the NPCs is just walking through like a glitchy piece of crap. I mean, what the hell was that? Like, the NPC seemed to be lagging as far as frame rate was concerned. Not the player character. No, it looked like the NPC was somehow lagging frame rate. Tongue-tied. Frame rate wise. My mind is always ahead of my mouth, which is why words jumble together and I get frame rate wise. Frame rate wise. Because I'm trying to say the W, my mind's already on the W by the time it's annoying. I'm always getting ahead of myself. Okay. I made it to round 2. Can I complete Slice without moving, for once? Can I get lucky on stream? It's never going to happen. But I really want to try, just for shits and giggles. I mean, if you could beat this without moving, with pure luck, it's funny, it would be funny as hell. I could have beaten Slice 20 times over if I moved, but that's boring. That's the boring way to win. Toy with your prey like a cat. Come on, hit me, man! All you need is one shot! I'm making it easy for you! One life! One life's less! I can't believe I last as long as I do in these. It's hilarious. Round 2! Complete! But yeah, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet's a buggy piece of crap. And they probably need to patch it. So, if they patch it, I might buy it. But I'm waiting. I'm waiting, Game Freak. Patch the damn game. And well, that's my thoughts on Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And the dog is under the one next to me, right? Ooh, It's just that easy. And this is where I get knocked off in the final round. But I get 6,000. I'll take it. Yep. Had a feeling. 6,000 MGP, I'll take it. It's more than I thought I was going to get. I thought the shell game was going to kill me. I thought the dog was under there, but the gold was under there. Free money, I'll take it. Free gold saucer coins. Anyway, back to farming. Back to Kalusia. I can't believe I did that. Okay, back to Tomra. But yeah, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet's a buggy piece of crap. The United States is, as usual, on fire. Twitter is on fire in the same way the United States is, as there are two camps of people. People who think Elon Musk is Satan and is about to burn their favorite platform to the ground, and then people who think that Elon Musk might end up improving the platform in some ways and running it in others, and that the site will go on. And let's just say the radical left are mad that Twitter is not on fire. Which is a hilarious sentence, considering before Elon Musk bought Twitter, the radical left would be mad that Twitter was on fire. Considering that's their territory. It's almost like they're really mad that Elon Musk's more pro-free speech style of running things seems to be attractive. I mean, imagine being able to use the platform because you despite having politics that someone else disagrees with. I mean, what a concept! Imagine being able to state your mind and not getting banned for it. Not weird. First Amendment protections in a country that has them on a site that is based in Silicon Valley, aka America. The horror! I could speak my mind. It's almost like it's the law of the land I live in or something. No, they can't allow me to speak. People might get mad. They might get angry at me. Quick, ban me! Ban me! How dare I have opinions? The current political party in office disagrees with. Oh no! I'm a heretic! Burn me at the stake! In other news, the Ishgardians are actually probably wanting to burn me at the stake, considering my view on dragons. What? Nidhogg did nothing wrong. You killed his sister. Okay, he did something wrong after a certain point, but I mean, when he's... Look, Ishgard started it! But Mom, Ishgard started it! They killed his sister and ate her corpse and shit. Hey, if I was Nidhogg, I'd start a 1,000-year-long war, to be honest. Like, you killed my sister and ate her. That's not okay. That's fucked up. Hell, the only reason that story, just mentioning that as a plot point in Heavensward didn't raise the age rating was because it was a dragon. I mean, if it was eating a human, I could instant M. It's like, what the fuck? It's like, the Ishgardians did what? Don't get me wrong, I don't think the descendants should be judged for the crimes of their forebears, but holy crap! Their forebears were fucking messed up. I get that dragon bodies have and eyes and all this shit have magical etherical power in them and shit, but I can't imagine dragons taste good. Especially dragons that you once called your neighbor. I mean, at some point, there's gotta be a part of your mind going, I'm eating my neighbor. What is wrong with me? We were friends. She lived next door to me, and now we're eating her. Okay, she's a dragon, but still, some part of you would be like, what the fuck am I doing? Unless you were a complete sociopath. Like, that's some Hannibal Lecter shit. I mean, that's basically my thoughts with Heavensward. It's like, okay, I understand why Nidhogg's mad now. I'd be mad too. Hell, I'd probably be mad and vomiting. It's like, what the fuck? Meanwhile, there's like two types of people that play through Heavensward. People who hear that and go, what the fuck is wrong with these people? I know they're religious, but damn, they're nuts. Ooh. There are people who pray to God every night and think that I'm probably going to hell for using the hub, who probably wouldn't even do that. Probably because they probably think they'd be going to hell with me. To be honest. Makes me wish I was religious just so I could say, yeah, you deserve it. Go to hell. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. There's no amount of prayer that's going to redeem that. What the fuck is wrong with you? It's like, holy shit. But yeah, enough jokes about Heavensward. I'm just saying, that plotline is messed up. And then there's the other type of people who are just like, whoa, that's metal as fuck, man. They killed her and ate her. And I'm like, we have a different definition of metal as fuck. What you think is cool and what I think is cool is two different things. Xenos is cool. A psychopath who only lives, to kill strong enemies. Basically pure, basically an MMO player with no moral compass. That's kind of a cool narrative. As a fictional narrative. Eating someone's sister and starting a 1,000-year-long war is not metal, it's fucked up. There's nothing cool about that. That's the opposite of cool. That's very not cool. If anything, even if you were the type of person who was sympathetic to Ishgard and just hasn't played a Final Fantasy game before and hasn't played Final Fantasy X and didn't suspect a twist with Ishgard, at least their founders, being fucking evil. Well, at that point, even you would be like, well, I mean, maybe there's no good reason for that. Well, maybe they were hungry, okay? I mean, sure, the dragons could have, killed an animal a massive animal and they could have eaten that for them, and there was literally no reason to eat your neighbor. Maybe there was a good maybe they needed the power to save the world. Yes, that's it. The world was imminent peril, and they decided to eat Nidhogg's sister. That's the redemption. No one was no one in their right mind's thinking that. No one's just. Most people are going, you know, I think Ishgard started it. I think they're the bad guys. I think I understand Nidhogg's ire. I don't think there's a justification here. Morally gray my ass, morally black is more like it. It's like, you know, I think Nidhogg's pissed for good reason. Ever get the feeling that someone's justified? Just thought, I mean, Nah. His sister was probably a pedo and tried to sleep with eggs. Even though dragons always sleep on their eggs because they're lizards. But whatever. Who cares? Yeah, she was evil. She had it coming. I mean, okay, the eating bit was kind of weird, but I mean, wouldn't you eat Jeffrey Dahmer? What do you mean, no? I'm just saying that even if she was evil, you'd be like, what? It's like, I mean, there's no justification. You've crossed the line. Don't know why half of these thoughts occur to me. I'm just flying around looking for nodes and random shit just flows out of my psyche. I know why the midterm shit occurred to me and the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet shit occurred to me, but I don't even remember how I started talking about Heavensward at this point. It just came out. It's just like, oh, by the way, the plot of Heavensward has a really fucked up plot point. It's like, what does that have to do with Scarlet and Violet? I don't know, I just felt like talking about it. I don't even know how I got here. I'll be honest, I forgot how I got here. I unironically might have to rewatch my own VOD just to see how I got here. I don't even know why I'm here. Like, how do we get from point A to B again? I don't remember. Scarlet and Violet's a buggy mess. Anyway, cannibalism is bad. What? A to B does not make sense. Don't worry, I'm just as confused as you are, viewers. Hey. Come on, where are any nodes around here? Oh yeah, I want to show off my mounts. Just a second. Just a second. Ah yes, this is the Fey Gwibber I got recently. Might as well pull up my mount guide. Just a second. Just a second. Recently got Fenrir, as you saw, in the Gold Saucer. Missing out on a node, but I'm trying to make sure I have... oh, it would be on this page, wouldn't it? Ah, yes, I'm no longer jellyless. Woohoo! No longer jellyless. No longer ratless. Got myself a rat. Woohoo! Now I can kill Preach anytime I want. Rat Jam is coming for you, bitch. Anyway. And, oh yeah, I got the Wondrous Lantern from 3 Lines on Wondrous Tales. I got lucky as fuck. Woohoo! Greenberg! Now I've got 9 birds. Woohoo! 9 birds. And, yeah, I already showed off the Innocent Gwibber. I already showed off the fate. Yeah, okay. That's all the new ones. Time to get this node. I still need to get myself a tank. Why? I'm an American. It's my right to bear any arms I want, and I want those dwarves out in Lakeland to build me a motherfucking tank. Why? Because I want it. Plan to ride on through Kalusia, blasting everything out of my way just for shits and giggles. with my tank's laser. Laser tank. Not even the U.S. has those yet. At least. Well, I mean, there could be a black project for all I know, but officially, the U.S. does not have laser tanks, okay? I can say that with absolute certainty. Who knows what they've built at Area 51? Not me. Above my pay grade. Okay, time to get some lemons. Knock them out of the tree. Get on my hippo. And get back up here and check for some nodes. Oh yeah, now I want to talk about 6.3 to end the stream. The plot to 6.3 is taking us back to Garlemald to team up with Alphinaud and Alisaie. And remember when I said at the end of the Hildebrand questline, I think Lugae was broken out by either Cognazzo or Rubicante? And now we're going back to the place with the Tower of Babil! Why do I get the feeling I'm right about 6.3 and I've called the plot? Why do I think the Tower of Babil is probably going to be the trial? With one of the Archfiends in there. Most likely guarding some sort of artificial void gate Lugae built. In his spare time. With probably Golbez coming through. Maybe even Azdaia somehow. Depends on the size of the artificial void gate. I mean, I'm just saying, I'm just saying. Garleans are where Reapers come from, and the Reaper job is based around bargaining with a void set. If any nation would have zero issues with, 1, making a deal with the void, 2, has the technology to build an artificial void gate, and 3, has zero, moral restrictions on scientific experimentation, to put it bluntly. As in, they really do not care about consequences. All the scientists in Garlemald are fucking mad as fuck. Let's experiment on people. Nazi Germany style, why not? Who cares how many subjects die as long as we create some sort of heinous monstrosity that probably shouldn't exist, but we thought it was a good idea at the time, so we did it. Yes, let's do that! So I'm just saying, basement of the Tower of Babil is probably where the trial is. I could be completely way off base. But I have a feeling that Rubicante is down there. And that Cognazzo will most likely be in the dungeon. That's my theory, anyway. The part 2 of the live letter will go into more detail about 6.3, and let's just say the trailer and some of the footage they show in that trailer will most likely either almost outright confirm my suspicions about some of the plot points, or deny them. I could be wrong. To be honest, part of me hopes I'm somewhat wrong, because that would be... I like a good twist, you know? Don't get me wrong, I haven't really been wrong thus far. As soon as I saw Estinian saying, I'm not the only one that can ride the wind, my first thought was Trial, Barbariccia, got it. And I was right. It was disappointing that I was right, but I was right. I'm like, you're killing 2 Archfiends in one patch, got it. It's Barbariccia. And everyone's like, it can't be Barbariccia. We're not going to kill 2 Archfiends in one patch. Yeah, and they did. I was right. My first instinct was Barbariccia. Got it. It's fucking Barbariccia, isn't it? Why even hide it from me? I mean, why even have it question mark at this point if you're going to be this predictable, Yoshi P? Come on, give me a twist. Throw me a curveball. Throw me a bone. I'm getting bored. I get it. It's kind of like the new A Realm Reborn, where you need to set up a foundation for future plot points in order to actually surprise us. But still, just like A Realm Reborn, I'm getting really bored. It's like, wow, the predictable thing is happening because it makes sense. Good storytelling, don't get me wrong, but as someone who likes speculating about what happens next in a plot line, it's really boring being right all the fucking time. It gets really boring really damn quickly. Bored now. Need twist. Mental stimulation going into gutter. No puzzle. Bored. I mean, that was the worst part of A Realm Reborn for me. It wasn't even the not having all of my abilities. I'm like, it's kind of like WoW in that respect. I can deal with that. Every RPG has you start at level 1 with limited shit, and you unlock more options as you go. I mean, that's how RPGs work. Whoop-de-doo, it's not that bad. I'm used to it. As an RPG veteran, I'm fucking used to it. Like, okay, I have 1 button. All I need's 1 button at this level. Everything's easy. Who gives a fuck? Okay, what's happening next? Oh, the predictable thing? Yeah, figured. Oh, you mean that person I interacted with, that Thancred guy in Ul'dah, is important to the plot, and I'm going to be interacting with him later, and he's going to be the key to to continuing the overall plot line from being an adventurer to graduating to the Warrior of Light? You mean he's a scion of the Seventh Dawn, and he's working for someone outside of the Grant companies? No. I thought I was going to be working for Ul'dah for the rest of my life. You mean I'm actually going to have party members in a Final Fantasy game? No! Really? I thought I was going to go solo my entire way to 80. Now I know that Thancred's going to basically join the party? I wonder whatever would have given me that impression. Besides the fact he keeps showing up every 5 fucking seconds in the plot to bother me. Almost like he's watching me and he's a key to the continuation of the plot. Oh no! After I killed Ifrit, the Emperor dude is watching Ifrit. You mean the Empire is going to get involved at some point? No. I thought it was just a red herring cutscene they put in when I left on the airship to make me think they were important. You mean this Gaius guy might be important? Hell, he might be the final boss of 2.0, or even the Realm Reborn entirely, for all I know. Nah, I'm overthinking it. Gaius important? Why would the Empire be the big bad in a Final Fantasy game? But it's not like they were the big bad in other Final Fantasy games, except for Final Fantasy 2. Final Fantasy 4, technically, with Baron. Final Fantasy 6. Final Fantasy 7, technically, with Shinra. I mean, they were a corporation, but let's face it, they're just the evil Empire with a new coat of paint. Final Fantasy 8 with Galbadia, same reasoning. Final Fantasy 9 with Alexandria. Final Fantasy 10 with, well, Yevon. Basically being the evil Empire, but religious. Kind of like Basically, they're just the Ishgardians, as I said before. Final Fantasy 11, I think, had an evil empire, but don't quote me on that. I haven't played that much of the game. Final Fantasy 12 had an evil empire. Final Fantasy 13 technically had an evil empire. I mean, all Cocoon turned against the party. Final Fantasy 15 has an evil empire. Final Fantasy 16 seems to have, you guessed it, an evil fucking empire. I mean, I don't know. I don't know why the empire would ever be important in a Final Fantasy game. I don't know what was tipping me off here. Weird. I mean, I don't know why I came to this conclusion. Gaius totally wasn't the final boss of Praetoria. Yeah, I mean, A Realm Reborn was predictable, but I mean, it was good predictable. It set up the world. It's not a bad story by any stretch of the imagination, just like the Endwalker patches aren't bad. They're just predictable. Predictable isn't always bad. Just like unpredictable isn't always good. I mean, look at Lost. Lost is the most unpredictable narrative in the history of TV show narratives. To this day, I don't think anyone actually knows what happened at the end. Probably because the writers just gave up on writing it. It's like, the twist is, everything you have ever believed is a lie for the billionth time. Yeah. Call me when the show's over and then tell me what happened. Show ends. People still have no idea what happened. Fair, okay. It's like, okay, show's over. What happened, guys? We don't know. Understandable. Have a nice day. At least I saved a good chunk of my life not watching that show. It's like, what's going on? The show's over and we still don't know. Okay. Fair. Okay. Damn. There are some bushes and some trees in this shithole. I think I found everything up here. Maybe I'll just teleport somewhere else. I don't think there's anything underwater for me to hub or knock down. Raktika Greatwood has a lot, is just a daily area. I mean, it might have level 80 nodes. I think it does. Will Ilmeg have any level 80 nodes? Let's check Ilmeg. I swear I'm getting fucking resource starved here. I'm running out of things to chop down. It's getting annoying. Ooh. Level 75. I'll take it. It's unspoiled. It's a rare node. Rare nodes are good. I'll take the rare node. Okay. But yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, it's predictable, but hey, it's leading towards something, and I think it's leading towards Zeromus, Golbez becoming Zeromus, being defeated, and just shattering the veil between worlds somehow, and we're allowed to go to the other shards. Man, who knows? Maybe even Cid will just... The damage to the barrier will be just enough where Cid's able to make a technology that takes us to all the shards, including the ones that are technically gone. Like, we can go back in time, kind of like Elpis. But I also think that even though we can go to the other shards, that we're probably going to Mera City in 7.0 because of something Golbez has done. Like, we killed Golbez and Zeromus, but it's a victory at a cost sort of thing, and Mera City basically gets invaded by Voidsent. Like, the barrier has been broken. It's like the opposite of Shadowbringers. Instead of going, throw wide the gate, the protagonist going, throw wide the gates. The protagonists are like, close it! Close it! Oh shit, they're coming! Close it! Close it! Close it! No. Monkey's Paw wish from Y'shtola. Yeah, we want to go to the other worlds, but holy crap, that's a lot of voids there. Close the gates! Close the gates! Too late, they're in. Fuck! No, it could also just be a case of... It could be a case of... Well... I have a feeling 7.0 is just going to be a Final Fantasy V reference. Basically, I'm thinking meteors are going to be involved, kind of like towers were in... You know, at the end of Shadowbringers, the towers were. I think meteors are just going to fall across the world, and Voidsent are going to come out of them. Call it a hunch. And then everyone's just going to assume that the Void is invading or something, but it'll be a case of Final Fantasy V where actually it's the first asking for, trying to come to, well, the source in order to get help. Because something they did unleashed the Void in their experiments, like some sort of time jump. I genuinely think at some point the first is going to have a time jump, and I think somehow, like 2 versions of the first that we can go to. I would be okay with that. Everyone's like, well, that's weird. I'm like, no, not really. I mean, you have Warlords of Draenor, which did something similar, except instead of going to the future of Outland, we went to the past of Outland, technically. But, I mean, the point is, I think we're going to go back to the first at some point in 7.0. Just call it a hunch. At some point, we're going back to the first to help save it from the Voidsent. I mean, I could see it going like this, okay? It sounds silly and stupid, but I could see it going like this. We basically end up, after killing Golbez and Zeromus, that accomplishes his goal of just breaking the barriers between worlds, and, well, combine that with the experiments going on in the first to open Void Gates, it becomes easier to open Void Gates, and, well, the experiments go awry, the Voidsent come through and en masse into the first is overrun by darkness. They don't know that they can travel via the rift yet, or they know they can travel via the rift, but, and that's where the meteors come in. Like, they use meteors to just get to, you know, basically I'm thinking like Final Fantasy V with Galuf and Kryl, you know, just, oh no! Exef's trying to break his out of his seal. We need to go to World 1, aka Bartz's world, in order to, and Lena and Ferris's world, in order to stop it. But instead, it's more like, oh no! The Void has invaded the first. We need help. We need the Warrior of Darkness again, but she's nowhere to be seen. But, and then they theorize, wait a second. The rift, only way that could have happened is if the barrier between worlds was somehow shattered or weakened. Meaning that we could go to the source. And Reen's like, I can go see Thancred? It's like, yeah. And then Reen just gets on a meteor to go, kind of like how Kryl did at the end of the first world of Final Fantasy V. And they just go to, you know, Kryl and Gaia basically just get a massive meteor to the source. But it crashes in Mericidia, and everyone just thinks, holy crap, the Void are using meteors to invade Mericidia. That's Golbez's master plan. Then everyone goes to Mericidia to stop it, and on halfway through Mericidia, we find Reen. or at the end of Marasidia, we find Reen and find out what's really going on, and we end up going to the first again. And they could have Reen basic. They could just reference FF4 again, even though it's more of an FF5 themed plotline at that point. But just having Reen reference Rydia and have a time skip where Reen's older. I mean, I could see them doing that. That's where I would take it. But Yoshi P could take it in a completely different direction. I'm interested to see where this is going. No matter if I'm right or not. I'm just saying, that's where I would take it. I mean, Shadowbringers was the FF3 expansion. Stormblood was the FF2 expansion. I mean, Rebellion Against an Evil Empire. Heaven's Ward was very much an FF1 expansion, style expansion. And I know what some people are going to say. It's like, what do you mean FF1 style expansion? There was... Well, I mean, in the plot of Final Fantasy 1, there, literally, when you go into the Dragon Isles, the dragon stated, oh, there was a war between us and humans, and we ended up just eventually retreating down here to avoid humanity entirely. So it could just be, I mean, that one minor plot point from NPC dialogue in FF1 was turned into an entire expansion, pretty much, with Ishgard's storyline. So, yes, unironically, FF1 expansion. Whereas Rebellion Against an Evil Empire is, you know... Also, we killed Nidhogg twice, just like we killed Garland twice in FF1. I mean, like one of the early dungeons, like the level 55 dungeon, the area is just, we kill Nidhogg. It's over, woohoo! We've gone on a journey, basically to the Chaos Shrine, and we killed the evil dragon, and everything's good. And then at the end of the Heaven's Ward story arc, we have to kill him again, but at full power. Kind of like how we have to kill Garland after he becomes Chaos. So yes, FF1 expansion. It may not be like a direct reference. We may not fight Chaos at the end of the expansion, or Garland. But it's very FF1 style. Hell, I noticed in Stranger of Paradise, which is a prequel to FF1, that the way they did the voice acting for the remake of the FF1 intro was very reminiscent of Heaven's Ward. Almost like that was intentional. Like they were trying to drive home the fact to FF14 players playing the game that Heaven's Ward is basically inspired by FF1. Hell, they even had a book similar to the one that Edmont had, that the advisor to the King of Cornelia was just writing the tale in and writing his monologue in. I found that a nice touch to point out something that isn't as obvious to some people where they were going with Heaven's Ward. Like I find that an interesting, like, homage, if you will. Like, just in case you haven't figured out the thematic style of the FF14 expansions, Heaven's Ward was the FF1 one. Here, the advisor to Cordelia is even writing in the same book as Edmont, except instead of titling it Heaven's Ward, it's like the Chronicles of the Warriors of Chaos, in this case, because that's what Garland and his team ended up becoming. They're not the Warriors of Light, they're the Warriors of Chaos. I'm just saying, I just found that a nice twist. And as I said, Stormblood's FF2, I mean, Rebellion Against an Evil Empire, it was literally FF2's entire plotline. That, and the guy you kill in the capital comes back to life later, except instead of fighting him at the end of Stormblood, you fight Xenos at the end of Endwalker. But I digress. The point is, Xenos and Mateus were very, very similar. Also, that scene in Shadowbringers with Xenos versus Gaius and Estinian was very reminiscent of the return of the of the Dark Emperor in FF2, where, you know, he comes back from hell and Richard, the Dragoon character, has to sacrifice himself in order to save the party, but instead Estinian makes it out alive just like Gaius. But still, the point is, it was very reminiscent. Like, Holy crap! We can't take him. And it's like the real Emperor is back. Oh no! Also, Leon didn't really die at the Emperor's hands either and joined the party for the final fight in Pandemonium. But again, I mean, whereas the Emperor of Garlemald would be Leon in that instance. The pretender to the throne. Not that Xenos really cared about the throne, but I digress. The point I'm trying to make here is that it was very reminiscent of Final Fantasy II. And also kind of proves my point about how certain inspirations carry over into later expansions that are inspired by other Final Fantasy games and their inspirations, despite the fact that they are very reminiscent of the previous storyline. Basically everything's intertwined, and I love that about FF14. If it was a WoW expansion, all the FF4 references would just be in one expansion, and they would never go further with it. But I'm just saying, FF4 references like Ring coming back at some point, older, or hell, they could have her come back in the patch content against Golbez. Hell, for all we know, literally 6.3 could just end with Alphinaud and Alisaie incapacitated somehow, like the twins, and just shit going on in the first, like Golbez basically wins, per se, and just becomes Zeromus and absorbs, like, the Father Crystal on the moon. Like, hell, I actually think that even though we won't fight Zeromus in 6.3, I think we'll see Zeromus rise at the end of 6.3. I don't think it's just going to end with Rubicante. I think Golbez, I mean, after all, think about it. If my thesis about how Cognazzo and Rubicante get to the source is correct, about the basement of the Tower of Babil, that means Golbez and Azdaja theoretically can get to the source via the Tower of Babil, and then that would explain why at the end of 6.2 we see a gray flash of him murdering what looks like the Watcher. Everyone's assuming, oh, it's a memory of what happened previously. But what if the thesis that Golbez is the Warrior of Light of the 13th Fall into Darkness is correct, and that's the Echo, and that's actually because of how darkness is activity and progression. He's kind of like our antithesis, a literal warrior of darkness, in the sense that instead of seeing what's already happened, he sees what's going to happen, kind of like Mikoto in the Bajra storyline, and he sees himself lay low the Watcher. And he knows everything's going according to plan. He's monologuing while he's seeing the future, like, the blessed damned shall set us free. The remnants of Zodiark, in other words, like the Father Crystal. And we're literally seeing 6.3 at the end of 6.2. The ending of 6.3 at the end of 6.2. Where he actually makes it past us, uses the teleport at the top of the tower, goes to the moon, which is what Golbez's goal, as given to him by Zemus via mind control, was in the storyline to begin with. And, well, he ends up killing the Watcher, absorbing the Father Crystal, which is what I call it, basically that dark crystal we saw at the end of Realm Reborn, that seemed to be a part of Zodiark, which, kind of like how Hydaelyn had the Mother Crystal, which we used to get the Ultimate Duel. I mean, I'm just saying, the Mother Crystal is actually a crystal of massive ether of all Hydaelyn's followers gathered over time. Then it makes sense Zodiark, that crystal we saw at the end of Realm Reborn, and that Zodiark would have something similar, and it would be in his prison on the moon. And I'm just saying, if Golbez were trying to go for a power boost and become Zeromus, like a being of pure darkness, like darkness that even the 13th hasn't seen yet, like darkness incarnate, it would make sense to absorb the remnant of that ether left behind after we killed Zodiark and Endwalker on the moon. And I think they're right, that he did kill the Watcher, or he will kill the Watcher. He hasn't killed the Watcher yet, but he will kill the Watcher. If that makes any sense. I think he's seeing the future. It's the Echo. Everyone's thinking it's the past, but I think he saw the future. I think that's the Echo. Also, it might explain why he's able to hide the location of his base from the Warrior of Light, because, I mean, if you are well-versed in the Echo, like, really, really good with the Echo, like, you've had thousands of years to master it, just like an Ascian, you theoretically could cover your tracks, especially if you have home field advantage and you're living in a void star where everything's turned towards darkness and the ether's stagnant anyway. You would have the advantage of being the only one with a fully functioning Echo in such an environment. Meaning you could just twist the ether to make it hard for non-Voidsent to resonate with anyone with the Echo. Like, not impossible, but really, really hard to do, which is why it's very spotty and at best. Meanwhile, your Echo would be unaffected because you are a Voidsent, and therefore you would have home field advantage. I mean, after all, the Echo works by just sensing the etheric currents of the area, as explained in Elpis. So, I mean, the etheric currents were in Golbez's favor. He would have a fully functional Echo, and we would be diminished. That's just my thesis on why the Echo doesn't work as well, despite learning from, you know, the Na, aka Hydaelyn, how to control it somewhat during Endwalker, why it doesn't work that well in the 13th, because we're not used to that sort of environment. Golbez is used to it perfectly, and so he's just constantly getting visions of the future 24/7, which probably explains why he's so good at conquering the 13th. He knows what his enemies are going to do before they do it, because he's already seen it. That's my theory. Anyway, but yeah, I could be completely way off base. But that's my theories on 6.3, and once I get to level 78, I'm calling the stream. I just need a few more trees. Come on, trees! I need some trees, some bushes, some plant life to murder, and gather shit from. Come on. Where are the trees? Where are the bushes? Plants. I hate plants. Ooh, prey! Delicious prey. But they're unlike the trees of Earth. They're pretty and pink. Oh. Well, gotta do what I gotta do. They looked at me funny. How? Don't ask me. You just did. Just go with it. Sun's going down. There we go. Lush vegetation patches. Blood tomatoes. There we go. Level 78. Scyther. Garden beets. Probably more experience anyway. There we go. Got him. Good. Time to head back to Limsa real quick to turn in my collectibles. You can call it a stream. But yeah, I think Golbez will become Zeromus at the end of 6.3. I find it hard to believe he won't. I mean, after all, the new Ultimate, I think the name of the patch kind of gives it away. God's Revel. I think it's something like God's... I have to look it up. I can't remember. It's been a while. Plan to do this immediately after it came out. 1 week later. Forgot everything. God's Revel Ground Shakes or something like that. I mean... God's Revel Ground Shakes. I could see everyone in the Far East, if Zeromus were to rise on the moon and then disappear, I could see everyone in the Far East just going, the moon has turned black with darkness. Tsukiyomi? Also, I could see how the Aglaya stuff is just God's Reveling. Or the Euphrosyne, as the new wing is called. Also, I could see the Ultimate just basically being the primals of the Far East. And the Near East. Like, just all the Stormblood primals. And with Tsukiyomi at the end. I'm just saying, I get the feeling that Tsukiyomi is coming either in the Ultimate, a reference to her, and, you know, the end of 6.3 where Zeromus just rises on the moon and lunar eclipse happens and everyone in the Far East is like, Tsukiyomi. Hell, I could just see him just being at the bottom of the lunar subterrane, making the moon go black, and everyone's just like, that's not good. So yeah. Though the Loporrit dailies would be done on the moon too. So I think we can still get to the moon. I'm just saying maybe it'd be like a Sephiroth thing where the hole just ends up being blocked off by Golbez, now Zeromus. You can't get into where Zodiark used to be. It's just a barrier. And the moon's just covered in darkness. Like perpetual darkness. Kind of like, you know, Norvrant before, you know, the Warrior of Darkness did their thing. Just eternal night, everlasting night. It's just the weathered pattern on the moon until the end of 6.4. Just everlasting night. Like, you can't see the Earth, not the Earth, but Aetheris anymore. It's just everlasting night. Darkness. Meanwhile, the Loporrits need your help crafting shit. And they're like, well, I mean, okay, you can't get the Zeromus right now, but there's no reason to, you know, just be all doomy and gloomy. In fact, with everything all night right now, it's a perfect time to begin one of our projects. Yay! Come here and help us build shit. I could see the Loporrits unironically doing that. It's like, you know, maybe if we craft some light, some really fancy lights, it'll brighten this place up, even if Zeromus stays down there for another millennium or something. Who knows? Might as well build some shit. I mean, what else are we going to do? It's not like we can fight it ourselves. Hey, if you're a crafter, warrior of light, you can help. I could just see that. It's like, wow, that got heavy. Anyway, the Loporrits have invited you to the moon, covered in everlasting night, to build shit. Also, that would make a demented amount of sense, because the moon just basically became perpetual eclipse, everlasting night. and you look up and the moon's just in an eclipse. I mean, I'm just saying. Actually, you could still go to the moon, so what would it look like? I mean, it'd be a perfect excuse to just drive home the seriousness of the problem and the fact you can't do anything about it right now. Then by just returning to the moon, trying to check it out at the end of the MSQ, being hit with some sort of barrier, Sephiroth style, you can't get through it, and you're like, shit. And it's just everlasting night, and then the Loporrits are like, well, that recent arrival of Zeromus has wrecked some shit, and we need help from a crafter. It could all be interconnected. Like, everyone's thinking the Loporrit shit will just be goofy as fuck, but it could be dark as fuck. Like, Loporrits could actually be like, holy shit, everything's on fire, help! You can't kill the problem right now, but our civilization's on fire, help, help! Come, we need crafters, build, fix it, fix it! So yeah, that's my theory. Oh, I've already turned these in, didn't I, while ranting? I think I did. Was I even? I'm not paying attention, I'm just talking. Out my ass. Who cares? Anyway, yep, that's the end of the stream. I'm just saying, that's my prediction. Just to summarize my predictions, I think Zeromus will rise at the end of 6.3. Everlasting Night will cover the moon, and you'll have basically a really awful-looking lunar eclipse, kind of like the one in the Endwalker loading screen, actually. And Zeromus will just be hiding at the bottom of the moon, waiting for 6.4. And meanwhile, the Loporrits are like, everything's on fire because of him! Fix it! We need crafters! And Rubicante and Cognaza will die in 6.3. That, and I think Euless will be a part of 6.3 as well, not just Alpha No and Alizé. In fact, I think Euless will be playing the part of Edge and referencing the line that Edge says right before the party kicks Rubicante's ass in FF4. That's another prediction of mine. And to be honest, I actually think Rean might show up in 6.4. Now I think about it and just deal with Azdaia. In fact, I could see the lunar subterrane just being the dungeon, and then I could see the trial being Zeromus. Basically, the Father Crystal. That's my theory. So yeah. In any case, this has been Captain Alexander. See you later. Bye-bye, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow for more Legend of Dragoon, but I'm just going to raid whoever. Lost Paws is playing more Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. He needs support, I think. It's a buggy piece of crap, and if that one town I saw before I went to bed is any indication, it's probably going to get worse. I mean, I find it hard to believe that one NPC was the last bug. The first and last. The Alpha and Omega bug. Nah, it's probably bad. Rating now.